Hi, it's Jen from Shabby Fabrics, and I am thrilled to announce a new block of the month designed by one of my very good friends, Bonnie Sullivan, all through the night, an incredible person and designer. She also designs fabric for Maywood Studio. This is folk art sampler. She designed this. She actually did this with wool applique, and when I saw the quilt, I stopped what I was doing and I said, Bonnie, I called her and I was just like, what is that quilt? And so we had a lovely conversation. I said, can we please do this in prefused laser cut applique in your Woolies Flannel? And she said, yes. So you're seeing the quilt. It is absolutely stunning. Every time I look at this quilt, and I've seen it now obviously multiple times, each time I think I see something new in this quilt. This is a combination of Bonnie's fabrics, the Woolies Flannel, as well as her color wash, which is on my left and the right, which they're so velvety looking. It's absolutely stunning. Obviously, heavy applique, so you can imagine having that prefuse and laser cut is a dream come true. None of that tracing, none of that cutting, just all the fun and joy of being able to jump right into the project. So let me tell you how you can join in on this very special opportunity. 10 months, as I mentioned, so as you'd expect each month, you'll be getting a section of the quilt, the background, the prefused laser cut applique, and we're also going to provide you with layout diagrams. Why that's important to you is you're not having to bring pieces onto the background one by one and guess where they go. This gives you a roadmap of where everything works. And when you use that in conjunction with the Wafer 3 light box, the Applifuse mat, with your background fabric, the lights are way down low in the room and the light box is up nice and bright, you can see exactly where each piece goes. I'll be demonstrating that to you in some supplemental videos so you can see that process. So we'll continue that for 9 months. In the 10th month, you'll be getting your fabric to do your half square triangles, as well as your outer border and your binding. So it's a nice 10-month program. I love this quilt. I think it is one of those kind of once-in-a-lifetime quilts. And you can see there's a lot of hand embroidery. We'll talk about that in just a bit. Backing. Be sure to pick up your backing when you reserve your spot. This will be the same fabric that's used in your background, so it'll coordinate perfectly. This whole quilt, by the way, is all flannel. You're seeing a lot of thread on the table because Bonnie loves to do hand embroidery. We chose a 12 weight. That's what this amazing thread set is. I can't believe the price point. It's so affordable. Sulky 12 weight, 100% cotton thread is stunning. Anytime you're using cotton, flannel, or wool applique, because it helps accentuate that. We don't want our thread disappearing. We want it to enhance our project. So we used a 12 weight to stitch down all of our shapes to the background, but Bonnie loves to take it to another level with hand embroidery. And you're seeing a lot of the detail here with all kinds of different stitches where she just takes the project from here to a whole nother level. Tammy will be joining us to, again, on some supplemental video to show you all of the stitches that Bonnie used for hand embroidery. So if you've been a little shaky, or maybe you're fairly new, thinking, I can't do that, yes, you can. Tammy is an amazing instructor, and she'll absolutely step you through all of the stitches used in this beautiful block of the month. Plus, if you like to have just a guide, pick this one up. It's a great resource. All of these stitches and so much more. Maybe you want to customize that. Maybe you want to do different stitches. A quilt of this caliber, of course, takes tools. That's what's on the table. Some of these are kind of typical things, pins, rulers. I'm going to call your attention to the ones that I really think are difference makers. For sure, your light box, your Applifuse mat. Again, I'll be demonstrating how we're able to pre-assemble these shapes, allowing us to bring things onto the background as assembled units. As I mentioned in that 10-month shipment, you're getting your fabric that's making these half square triangles. We always love to be able to upsize those, allowing us to use the 4.5-inch creative grid ruler along with the spinning mat to square those up so they're the perfect size. So when you put all of your blocks together and get ready to add your outer border, these are going to just click together easily. And in fact, I will make a point of covering that again in some supplemental video so you know what I'm talking about. Trust me, that 4.5-inch ruler will be your friend, as well as that spinning mat. The other things that I really think I want to call your attention to that are not kind of just the normal sewing notions are the clover pencils. Tammy mentioned because of the black flannel, using a black friction pen is not going to work, right? She used that white pencil of that clover set to be able to trace onto the background where a lot of those lines go. So that's not one we typically use, right? We're normally drawing on lighter colored fabric with a black marking tool. However, on some of the shapes where we were stitching onto, for here, for example, that's a great time to be able to use the friction pen. So really there's a need for both. The other things on the table that are something you don't normally necessarily use are a size 90 needle. We normally stitch with an 80-12, but because of the 12-weight thread, the 90-14 is the bigger eye to support the bulkier thread. So be sure to pick up the 90-14 needles. Tweezers, Tammy definitely said some of these smaller shapes, it was really handy to have those tweezers on hand. Using the size Pearl 8 cotton, which is a thicker thread, the chenille needles, if you've got a needle at home that will support that bulkier thread, you don't need to worry about that. But if you're like me, maybe you don't have those, be sure to pick those up. In the early days, I was like, all I have is one size needle. As I would move into bulkier thread, it didn't fit in there very well, and I had difficulty. If that's you, be sure to pick up the Clover needle shredder. And the Thread Magic is absolutely your best friend if you have any problem with knotting or you've had that history in the past of things just knotting up. Pick up the Thread Magic. You'll see all of the notions on the overhead, so pick up anything you might need. What's the most important part of everything I just said? Get your spot. Get your spot. We always have limited availability. Let a friend know as well. To me, being able to create and do the thing I love with the people I love, there's nothing really better than that. Get your backing, your thread sets, any other notions you might need, and I'll see you soon on another Shabby video.